Welcome back to the SIFR podcast, if you're back. In this episode, I'll be reviewing the movie The Greatest Hits. I try my best not to do spoilers, and most of the time, if I do include spoilers, I'll let people know in the beginning of the episode. But that only goes for the review episodes. As for the commentary episodes, I guess I'll call them that for now. Those are obviously going to have spoilers in them. I am spending a longer amount of time on those episodes discussing the movie for a longer period of time. I'm just adding this in here now during the whole re-recording process. So, because I honestly, I didn't put it in here earlier, so now that I have to redo it anyway, I might as well just let you guys know that. Harriet finds art imitating life when she discovers certain songs can transport her back in time, literally. While she relives the past through romantic memories of her former boyfriend, her time traveling collides with a burgeoning new love interest in the present. As she takes her journey through the hypnotic connection between music and memory, she wonders, even if she could change the past, should she? I personally really like the idea of music being used as a time machine, especially in this movie. The main character uses this way of traveling in time to deal with her grief. And I also think that she was using it to avoid dealing with reality. All of the characters in this movie are really likable. I like all of them. I especially like her new love interest in the film. They just seem like they had the best on-screen chemistry that I've seen in a long time in a romance movie. But to be fair, I don't watch romance movies, so I don't really have anything to compare it to. Seemingly, the only one who knows her secret about being able to travel in time through music is her best friend. He wasn't really much in the movie. He was just there when she needed somebody to talk to, but for the most part, the movie was focused on her. So throughout the movie, you see her relationship with this guy, Bill. He's trying to get closer to her. She's being dodgy because she's afraid of what might happen and she doesn't want to forget her former boyfriend. Every time he tries to get close to her or every time he tries to understand her, she starts to pull away from him. But eventually she does confide in him, letting him know what she has been dealing with. Well, during the editing process, something might have gotten a little deleted, so I had to re-record like a lot of this. So the audio quality might just be slightly different because I'm not smart. The audio doesn't sound bad or anything. It just sounds lower. It's just lower since I have been messing around with the audio settings. But you know what? Since I have your attention here, let's just do a little bit of shameless plugging before we finish this review. If you're enjoying this episode so far, make sure you hit the like button if you're on YouTube Music and follow the podcast and turn on notifications depending on whatever platform you're listening to this on so that you don't miss future content from me. You can also listen to episodes of the podcast offline on Apple Podcasts or Spotify if you hit the download button, because it's not just helpful for me, but it is for you so that you can easily come back to the episode if you don't finish it. Or, if you just want to listen to it again, that's cool. I'm not complaining. I know I only mentioned Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but you can listen and download the podcast on any other listening platform. It's just that on YouTube, the downloads of a podcast, they don't count in the podcasting world. But the views on YouTube obviously are still, obviously important for YouTube. The visuals were nice. The music, the soundtrack fit very well with the movie. The effects of, the time traveling, all that was cool. I like that. They didn't do too much, but it was just, a cute little rom-com musical thing that's going on. Also, I really like the color choices. I like the vibe, the retro, back in the day kind of, I can't explain it. It's like a really nice vibe. Vintage is vintage. It has to be vintage. Yeah, I love the vintage vibe that it has. I just like the experience. I don't know, it was just something about that movie. And I also like the fact that I didn't even know, I think I might have recognized barely one of the actors in the movie, but for the most part, all of these are new faces, at least to me, so that was nice. I like seeing fresh faces. Take a hint, Netflix. The acting was very cute and I know I say I don't watch romance movies, but I did watch one recently a few months ago. It was called Hit Man. It was with Glenn Powell and what's her name? Adria. The girl, she was literally in Blink Twice. Her name was Sarah. That was actually one of my favorite characters in that movie. I've actually seen other stuff she's been in too, But like a couple years ago, I think she came out with a movie like Father of the Bride. Like I kind of like her. I like her work. I did recently do a review on Blink Twice. So if you do want to listen to that, I'll leave a link for you right there in the episode description. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatever it is, you can just type it into the search bar or whatever, or you can scroll down in my podcast. Anyway, we're going off topic. So this movie is categorized as a musical, romance, whatever. But I would say it's more of a romance sci-fi. I mean, I get it like there's music. I mean, the music is what travels her in time. But that doesn't necessarily make the movie a musical. Like, I've seen musical. I like musicals. Overall, it was a good film. It was a cute movie. The acting was good. I have no complaints. I will say, though, I did come into this movie a little weary. Only because, as I said, I don't watch many romance movies. I don't even really watch a lot of comedies anymore. I used to be obsessed with comedies, and then things just stopped being funny. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what I was getting into, but I'm glad that I watched it because I really liked it. See, this is exactly why in the episode I uploaded the other day, I encourage you guys to watch a show that you probably didn't think you'd like just because of the genre. You know, because you just never know, something might surprise you. It just happened to me. Actually, when I was listening back to that episode right before the upload, I was like, there were some parts of that episode where I definitely felt like it was a little too fast. I don't know, but I'm like, yeah, next time we're gonna just chill out a bit. Maybe it was the editing. I'm still learning, right? So I know nothing. Yeah, I mean, this was just a random episode upload day. Don't get used to it. This was just like a spur of the moment kind of thing. So lower your expectations. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. I think this one is worth a watch. It's a really charming movie. It's cute. It's laid back. It has some style to it. It's definitely for people who are loving the love. I have no idea what that means. I don't even know where that came from. But if you've already seen the movie, let me know what you think about it. But if you haven't seen the movie and you're going to watch it based on my recommendation for whatever reason, let me know what you thought about it. Honestly, I'm actually kind of curious because I know people usually stick to certain genres when they're watching stuff, and I try not to do that as often. So, like, maybe, like, around, like, certain times of the year, like Halloween, right? I'll watch mostly Halloween movies, obviously, or, like, horror stuff. But, like, for the most part, I try to keep things, because you just never know what you like. I say this. This is, like, my thing, I guess. So I try to keep my options open. You just never know. Anything could be good. Anything could be bad. It can be independent film. It can be a film from a festival like The Substance, which is another thing that I kind of had a whole episode on if you want to listen to that one. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out of my face hole. Because, like, maybe there are exceptions, I guess, to things that I probably wouldn't watch. But I just don't know what those are yet, necessarily. Like, there are a couple I can kind of think of, but not really. That will be it for this episode. Whether you like this episode or not, please be sure to leave a rating or a comment letting me know why you did or didn't enjoy the episode. Thanks for listening, and you'll hear me in the next one.